Um, I mean, there's you always hear this word maturity, and it's rather overwrought and threadbare at this point. But I think that a part of what's really frequently overlooked in looking at a musician in a band is the maturity that comes along as aging as a person,
Hmm.
just as much as maturing as a musician. And with that, I think life's experiences and where we are all at and what we've learned, that development creates a different product, obviously. We try to stay really intentional with that, and we try to be cognitive and recognize all of that. Um, and with that, I feel that development is rather inherent. That one has to grow. There's always conversations, and especially it happened with former members of talking about giving the fans what they want all the time. But we're a band that doesn't often compromise, and we're not making a record that is most sellable. We're making the record most honest. When it comes to making honest work, it's reflecting honesty, and with that, with immediacy, it changes. We're at long story short, I guess we're at a different point in our lives, and it's going to create something different for the listener. Um, I think in comparison to our older work, it's much more free form. Something I really wanted to do was um, create less predictable songs, and I feel like the songs that weren't the best on the past two albums were terribly predictable, and where you would be like, oh, this is where it goes to the verse, this is where it goes back to the chorus, this is the heavy part, etc., etc. And I wanted to try to move away from those confines. Um, and I think that those familiar with our older work or the past few albums would notice that. I think there's most certainly more of a raw element in there. While the band is constantly very polished up and to the grid, um, vocally it's something different, and environmentally I think it's something different, or atmospherically,
Hmm.
if you will. Um, I feel like a lot of what we did was extremely fluent and encouraging, and especially the means we had to write the album. Um, Not to bring it up or sort of amplify the matter, but our drummer left when we were in the studio, and that just caused a lot of additional work and stress. But at the same time, we're really happy with having Giuseppe in the picture now. He's playing drums live and recorded drums for Transit Blues. So with that, we're really excited to take another step forward
Hmm.
next time it comes to writing. Um, but it's not the easiest thing to deal with when you're in the studio and we need to get someone in here to track drums.
Yeah.
But I've known Giuseppe for about 10
Ah,
years,
okay, yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
always just totally ripped. So, I mean, I had no doubts that he could come in and just totally smash it. Um, I guess that's kind of comes with the territory as far as getting to know more dudes over the years.
Yeah.
Um, uh, One of the songs we did a music video for, the second music video, is a song called "To the Key of Evergreen," and I think that would probably be my favorite song. It feels like it creates a narrative, and it has this conversation that is so entirely cohesive, and I think it's a really beautiful song at certain times. And I think it also finds beauty through like chaos and discord and the clamoring notion of an aggressive heavy metal song. But I love the story. I love the instrumentation within it, and I love playing it live too. I've found over the past couple months. So that one's definitely up there for me. But at the same time, I'm really grateful to have the means of exploring what I was able to explore with the new record, between a song like Lock and Load, approaching the gun epidemic in the United
Hmm.
States, or Home for Grave Part 2, which kind of finishes a story that I had started years ago. Um, Getting to exercise that kind of creativity is awesome, and I loved being able to do that throughout the album, and I look forward to doing it again in whatever capacity. But To the Key of Evergreen, I think, came together as a real collective favorite amongst the band. Um, there's constantly this sort of egomaniacal nature to musicians where they're like, they feel like their music is different than everyone else's and that there's nothing comparable. For me, I think that's kind of sort of dumb, sort of dull and thick, if you will. So I don't mean to say that, but at the same time, I haven't heard a record that does something like this within the present scene. I don't think that the topics and subjects that we approached are monotonous or repetitive, as I feel a lot of subject matter is in metal. I don't know. I don't mean to sell anything. I don't make music to sell it. So to those who don't want to hear the album, I'm not going to beg for them to like it. But at the same time, I'd love for it to be in front of people and for people to give it a listen and have that objective perspective as to what they receive from it, because I think the question in and of itself is a little too close for me subjectively to the matter.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I hope people enjoy it, and I can promise that a lot of heart and hard work and honesty is within the songs on the album.